Hello, everyone. This is my guest today and a very good friend. Her name is Susan.
Hello.
So, Susan, tell us a little bit about yourself because I met Susan in retail. And when I seen her and she walked in, she was just so kind and uplifting, and she was always so happy, outgoing. Tell me,
It
how did
sounds
you
like
get to this point
it
in
sounds
your
like
life?
you're describing you. Honestly, Lisa is a ray of sunshine. For those of you who don't know her yet, how did I get to the point where I can be positive like that?
Yes,
I
I
think that
really want to
I think
know.
anyone who has that joy de vivre is someone who knows grief, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
is someone who has had to, at one point or another, or multiple times, dig deep within themselves to find that joy and make a decision to choose joy on a daily basis because that kind of joy, I mean, I guess to some people it probably comes naturally, but I wouldn't say it did to me
Right,
necessarily. I think it's something that
right.
you have to choose. And I'll be honest with you, my walking with God and having faith in Him and putting faith in Him and having a relationship with Him, you have an never-ending source of joy in the hope that lies within having a relationship with Him. So that's where I find it really.
Oh, very
And
good.
did
Yeah,
I get an
it's
A plus?
you always get an A plus in my book. Oh my gosh. But yeah, because we find, listen, we've met a lot of women during our time, and we found that, they've been through some hardships, and some of them have overcome and become rejoiceful and
Yeah.
very happy and like a totally different person. And then some are still in that grieving process.
Well, because if you're not careful, then you let a root of bitterness or self-pity take start taking shape and it can just color your outlook on life. And I think, yes, you have moments. I think if you're diagnosed with something or you lose someone you love, there's going to be grief and you're going to have pity parties and you are entitled to that. But then you have a choice. Do you stay there
That's right.
or
Hmm.
do you start clawing your way out of that pit and find reasons to be
Exactly.
grateful? Because the bottom line is there's always people that have it way worse. And you can always find something to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
So, anyways.
Yeah, I think you summed that up very nicely, really. Because we both have come a long way from where we were.
Yeah.
We were both in obviously marriages, a
Yep.
marriage that didn't work out that great.
Yep. 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 And both of us thought that, I don't know about you, but we thought that it was married life. That's the goal, right?
That, well,
You
sure, that was
you
the
get to a
goal.
certain age, you find that certain someone, you walk down the aisle and you live happily ever after.
That's right, you do.
Psych. And then reality hits and you find out that they were false advertisers and there's a lurking narcissist underneath Prince Charming.
Exactly.
And your world comes crashing down around you. The rug gets pulled out from under you, and
Right.
oh my gosh, you're starting over in your 40s or 50s or 30s or whatever. And you're alone, and the whole future that you had banked on and planned on is gone, and you've got to go away and dream it all up again.
Exactly.
And meanwhile,
And
you're dealing with rejection, the loss of at one point, he was probably your best friend, and,
well,
and,
sure.
and regardless, just your partner in life.
Well, absolutely,
And then
yeah.
there's the logistics of a breakup.
Yes.
There's the moving, the name changing, insurance, payments, all of that has to be dealt with in the midst of your grieving and anger and all of these emotions. So, but I will say that I don't know about you, but I'm seeing it become more and more common for women to go at it alone or have a female roommate. And it's possible to be completely fulfilled and a whole person and 100% happy without being married.
There you go.
So,
I know, like, aren't we super happy
yeah,
with that? But you
yeah,
you did run down the logistics of what we do go through when we end a marriage relationship, partnership, and
hmm,
yeah, it's a road. let me tell you, it's a long journey.
It is a, and it's not a linear journey to
Yeah,
happiness either. I have
it's
some good
just,
days. I feel free and independent and great, and I don't need him. And oh, and oh my God, maybe if my boobs were bigger, he would love me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not a linear road to recovery, but it's easier when you have people in your life who
Oh,
understand,
Susan.
and
Yeah,
it's
it
easier
is.
when, I don't know, you just find the resources. And you have an awesome sister. Shout out to Paula.
Yeah,
I
shout
missed you.
out
I
to
thought you were
her.
going to be here today, and it's an honor to be, ooh, sitting in this
That's
seat.
right.
Paula, I'm going to try to do you justice today. We love her.
But you're absolutely right. Like I know, well, at least for me, it was hard at first, but then, oh my gosh, I really found greatness and happiness and realized I think through my family and my friends really helped. And then I really stopped because I know God has always guided me.
Preach.
And he always told me, even while I was married, and when you're in your marriage, you're going, oh my gosh, this is not right. I'm not feeling good. And I know I
You
spoke with God and distinctly remember God saying to me, patience,
do you?
because yes, I do.
That's my favorite answer.
Patience led me right to where I'm sitting right now. And through that, I mean, listen, we've had family, my brother, they go, listen, your husband at the time is a real,
Yeah, thanks for letting
right?
me know now.
And I would just say to myself, patience, because this is going to put me where I belong. And I was patient, and I know the Lord had guided me, and I am so fulfilled with just by listening to my
You
instinct.
have just defined faith.
Yes,
That's what faith is. It's knowing that God has a plan for you, to be still and let Him be in control, and to trust and to walk by faith and not by sight necessarily. You're not judging the outcome based on current circumstances. You're judging the outcome based on His character, His goodness, and His outstretched hand and heart towards you. Um, and I can say now, 100% with 100% certainty, He will not fail you.
that's right.
He's not
That's
like a
right.
man. He's not like an earthly man who would lie or change his mind. He will not fail you, forsake you, or leave you without support. So I pick him.
That's right. And you know what? We are two women among millions that are walking in the glory.
Millions. Sorry, Dr. Evil tribute. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Billions. Okay, done.
but we are those women that have survived and are doing very well, actually, and very happy. Oh my gosh, we've come a long way, Susan. We really have.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear women's stories that were
Chime in.
similar or could
Chime
be,
in.
yeah, a
Can
lot
I
more
give, can I
similar.
tell the story in a nutshell real quick?
Yeah, take your
And then
time,
I want to,
please.
well, I mean, I
It's
was married
important.
for 15 years to um, recording artist, and got he became saved at maybe 2 or 3 years into our marriage. And anyways, he became a Christian recording artist. We lived in New York, that's where I'm from. So 12 years into the marriage, a record label, music label, they don't make records, music label from Nashville signed him and moved our family to Nashville. Great. We had a son that we had adopted from Korea as a baby. So I was going to stay home and homeschool him. They put my husband, on the road on tour for like 3 years. He'd be home for a weekend or a week here and there, but he was gone for a lot of time. Um, and he fell for his very beautiful co-singer and came home off the road to announce his departure. And that was, I mean, there are layers to any divorce, but that's kind of how things happen. I'm sure I played a part in it. Maybe I could have gone on the road. Maybe I could have, I don't know. I'm bossy. But that was kind of in a nutshell what happened. And I'll tell you what, I listen to, and I know he's an easy target, but I started listening to Joel Osteen's sermons because he's so, the best days are ahead of you, and don't worry, God's got a future, it's gonna outshine your past. And I was like, and then slowly though, it gets in your heart what you're listening to and reading. Um, and I started to go, maybe he's right, maybe there's still good to come, even though I didn't feel like it at the time. Um, And, lo and behold, I would never have picked the circumstances that landed me in Florida, but boy, do I love it here. And another thing I'll tell you, I've never had such great female friends in all of my life,
Oh,
not in high school, not in my 20s. I've never had such good,
oh my
sincere,
God.
quality female friendships like I do now. And I don't know that I would take any of it back if it landed me with these same group of friends. So.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
been awesome.
that's wonderful. I
Yep,
mean,
it's been
because
awesome.
I mean, look at you today. You're a beautiful, wonderful, warm-hearted woman. I mean,
Lisa.
I wish everyone was like you. You're
Oh,
very
Lisa.
kind, you're
Oh my God.
giving. You are.
Thanks, lovey.
You're a good mom.
I feel the same way
I've
about you.
seen her son. He's a very young, handsome young man and very smart, very intelligent. You've done a
Nice.
wonderful job.
I want to raise a gentleman because I find that they're few and far
Yes,
between.
there
You know what
are.
I
There
mean? So
are. They're just, yeah, it's,
I'm proud of his heart. He's got a big heart, and that is the most important thing for me.
but truly, I mean, you realize being, I don't know how you moms do it. I've said this time and time again on previous videos. I cannot be a mom.
What are you talking
No,
about?
I couldn't go down that road of that
Her dog is
responsibility.
really well behaved.
Thank you.
So fur babies count,
Oh,
okay?
but you are. How did you manage though, really being a mom, a wife, a homemaker, because listen, Susan and I, we have a lot in common. We are
Yeah,
both
yeah.
hairstylists. And how did you manage all that?
Um, Sugar and caffeine.
There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, you just do it. And then, although I will say this, when Jonah was 3, I realized I had not waited my whole life to own a salon. I waited my whole life to be a mom. So the hair
Nice.
had to go. I
That's
mean, I
right.
did a few friends at home, but I wanted to be a mom. So we fired the nanny, let her go. She wasn't
Right.
happy about whatever. And I got to stay home and be with my son on his birthdays and see his first steps and, you know, just be a mom. I
You
loved
were
it.
there
And
and important.
at first, the adjustment, because when you're in the public eye, that salon was fairly public. We did some
Yes.
charity events. God bless me with a large clientele. We were in the paper a lot for different things. And all of a sudden, you are isolated and you're at home with a child, and it is lonely. And no one prepares you for that. It's lonely and they are loud and you are on call and it's just a different, there's no paycheck, there's no good job, there's no recognition for your efforts. And the second day I called my mother and I said, I just want to apologize for my entire adolescence and I want to thank you for all the sacrifices I
Yes.
didn't understand that you made, because
Hmm.
it's not easy. I think moms, teachers, and nurses deserve
I do too.
so much
I
more than they
agree.
receive. Like, we
I do.
pay men millions of dollars to put a ball in a frickin' hoop, and you've got teachers and nurses who are struggling to make ends meet. Hmm,
Yeah.
this is not adding
Yeah, that
up.
picture is
Yeah, it's not adding up.
disturbing.
So I learned to love being a homemaker. I took it seriously. My home was nice. Like, if you could see Lisa's house, it's adorable. Every nook and cranny is a piece of art.
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
like, I love it here. So, um, but I loved making house and I loved, not every day, but I loved it.
Good
So,
for you.
yeah, I
No,
still
and
do.
it paid off, didn't it?
In what way?
Well, your son is wonderful,
Yeah,
and your
yes.
home
Being
too
home
is
is important. I
beautiful.
agree. Well, it's
Yes,
really my parents' home, but yeah, I keep it clean.
you do. It's
It's
very
like I have
nice.
two toddlers. They're in their late 70s, and I'm telling you, they're not the same people who raised me. They're just like, whatever.
She lives in those wonderful, great
Mhm.
guarded private communities.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up there. Every day I feel like I'm in paradise, and I am very
Yes,
thankful to be there. And
yes.
anytime you want to come and use the pool, girl, you let me know. If you want to use a pool,
Right?
just leave a message.
So
We'll
sweet.
work it
Very
out.
sweet. Yes.
But then can we talk about dating sites?
Oh, dating. Now, I haven't done that dating site, but I'm curious. You've got to
So
explain
I'll
that.
do it. This may be incentive for you to stay single. Okay.
Single.
I did not feel like dating in my heart. I felt married, but my friends were like, after a while, they're like, you need to move on. And it hit me that one day I was going to hear that maybe my husband was getting married, and I wanted to be in a relationship if that happened, was what I thought. If I get that news, it's going to hurt. I don't want to be in this place and get that news. I want to be happy with
Oh,
someone else and get
my.
that news. So that was kind of
Oh,
my weird
okay.
train of thought. So they were like, get on Bumble. And I got on Christian Mingle also.
Yeah, tell me how that works
I'll give
out.
you three real quick reasons not to date, okay? First guy, older Italian, looked like George Clooney. Really, on his profile it said chivalrous, remember this, chivalrous, gentleman, old fashioned, whatever. So we met at Starbucks and he was really good looking. And I and we hit it off, and he was an ex-model for Armani, and he did conspiracy government filmmaking, he said, and he drove a limo. I don't know, I didn't really care. So he was so cute.
Mhm.
And he's like, do you like scuba diving? I said, I like breathing oxygen. So, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And he kept on going on and on about scuba diving. I was like, okay, this is his thing.
Hmm.
Um, so the next day, he's texting pictures of him in scuba gear underwater. Oh, wow, that's really cool. And then we're talking on the phone a couple days later. He's like, don't worry if you don't want to wear a wetsuit. You can scuba gear in just your bathing suit and a tank. And he sent a picture of himself in a Speedo with his tank. All right, cute, but whatever. So then strike one was Christmas time. I said, my son's coming to visit. And he goes, well, I booked us a hotel room. I said, why?
Oh,
And I was up front with him. I was like, the Bible's my moral compass, just
that's
to let
right.
you know. So he goes, I booked us a hotel. I go, I don't know why. I can't, do anything. So, but that kind of, he was kind of mad that I was going to spend Christmas with my son, which was a big red flag. Then the clincher, the next day, I get a photo on my phone of a topless woman with a tank and her assets out floating on the water. I go,
Oh.
I don't need to see this. And he goes, oh, did I cross the line? I go, I'm not dating her. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, but that was it for me.
Oh,
Like
I'm glad.
that's it. You're
Yes.
sending me pictures of
Oh,
boobs
well,
and
you know
tanks.
what? Hey, yes. I mean, we know where people cross the line because listen, there
What
are
a
barriers
chivalrous
here.
gentleman. Really. What a chivalrous gentleman.
Yeah, I haven't met one. Although
No,
they claim to
no.
be. They do
Yeah.
claim to
If
be,
you
but
do meet one, if you know of one, please let us know. I'd like to.
well, no, I wish to remain single.
Oh, I
Although,
didn't mean
no,
like
right.
that.
No, I mean, I
I
don't
would like
mind
evidence
dating,
that they
but
exist.
no, yes.
And if you
Yeah,
do know
no.
one, let's face it, he's gay.
So there you go.
Okay.
Bingo.
So then the second one was Joe, and he was a really nice Chinese guy. Really, he was cute, and we were gonna meet at Starbucks. This is my safe spot to meet. They must think like, wow, she's in here with another guy. So it was only three. So this guy we met, and when I walked into Starbucks, he was already sitting down, and we hit it off. We end up talking for 3 hours, and we get up and we decide we're gonna take a ride to the park and go for a walk. So he gets up and he comes up to like here, and he goes,
Oh.
I'm short. I go, I'm skinny. So what? They're all relative terms. And he goes, okay, so we go and we go to the park, and he has a really nice BMW personal. And I was like, wow, your car is a bonus. Sorry about my phone. So we date a couple of times and it's going really well. And then we get in his car to go somewhere, and I shut the door, and he goes, could you please not slam my car door like that?
Oh.
On like the fourth
Oh.
date, I see your true colors shine through. So I didn't like the tone. I
Yeah.
just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
trying to,
my
yeah,
gosh.
I didn't like that. And then the third one was on Christian Mingle, and he said, I'm really, this was like our fourth conversation. I'm really excited to hear from you. Let me show you how excited I am. And then I got a picture, and
Oh.
I thought it was an elephant truck. It wasn't. It was his excitement.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
block.
no. Yeah.
Christian Mingle.
Yeah,
Block.
boy.
So I give up, okay? I give up.
There you
See this?
go.
It's my white flag.
She's a riot
I
too.
think I'm just gonna hang
Well,
out
you're
with
gonna love
Lisa.
Susan. But yes, I think the majority of us, I don't speak for every woman. I do speak for the majority of us who have experienced the strangeness of men.
Here's one word for it.
And, you know, I found some odd things.
Is it
And
your turn to share?
well, you know what? Listen, I've learned not to tolerate. Okay.
Yeah.
If we decide to hook up with a date or something, and if something should happen, you know what? And plans are changed, that's it. I don't care what excuses
No, I
and
agree.
right,
I
okay,
agree.
won't do it, won't happen.
No, I agree.
And I think they just don't have a lot to talk about.
That's it. I
I like, you know,
intelligent conversation.
correct.
hmm and I'm
And
a grammar snob too. I love to read Jane Austen. I think we should all still speak like that in poetic prose. So if you're texting me and you're using things like CUZ for the word because, it's not going to go anywhere.
yeah, see,
Sorry.
I hate
Or
that.
if you're using LUV, or I mean,
Yeah, the
yeah,
shortcuts and the
no.
yeah, see, I wouldn't even know what that is because
You're
I
not
mean
missing
during
anything.
my time we still text full words,
You didn't communicate in emojis. Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm finding men just don't have the intelligence
Do
that
you
it
think it's
takes.
Florida? I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt you. Okay, I just
no,
wondered.
Susan, I don't think it's just Florida. I think it's everywhere. And I think it's well, probably most effective in our age group. I
What if
don't
we
really
dated?
know how
What if
old
we?
you are.
Let's guess. Let's play guess and guess how old I am in the comments, and then we'll let you
There
know
you
next
go.
video. Okay?
There you go.
What do you think? What would happen if we dated Europeans? Do you
You
think it
know,
would be different?
I don't know. I've never dated a European. I
Does
mean,
Asian count as European? Just kidding.
you know what? I can honestly tell you, let's see, I was married once. My first husband passed away,
Hmm.
and dated two others, and then got married again, divorced, and kind of dated a couple of people, but made it short because they were wasting their time wasters. So, I mean, I'm like 60
Shut
something.
up!
Yeah,
She's
you knew
gorgeous.
that.
I did not know that. No, you look
Yeah.
gorgeous. You sleep in formaldehyde? Oh my
I
gosh.
drink it. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
that's your secret. Pour me a glass.
But anyway,
You look fantastic.
well, you do too,
Thank you.
dearie.
I know, and
But,
I'm 92. I'm just kidding.
but yeah, I found, okay, so I haven't dated a lot. Maybe I'm a bit naive, but, you know,
Did you have a close relationship with your dad?
I loved, oh my God,
Then he set a
I loved
standard.
my
Do you know what I
dad.
mean? Dad set the
I
standard.
moved here for my dad.
Oh,
I loved him so much. I mean, he's near me, pictures,
I
he's
see
near me,
him.
yeah, all the time. He is honestly near me. And he was probably the most wonderful man, not just my dad, but a most wonderful, patient man I have ever met in my lifetime. And I can honestly say that. I truly miss him dearly.
Mm,
And I thank God every day I was able to spend those last couple of years with him. And my dad and my stepmom got me and my sister family
I
that
love
are
your stepmom.
here in Florida
Mhm.
really pulled through for me. And, my dad set a precedence for me, and he told me, you will rise above this.
Oh,
And I did. Boy, did I ever
props to
rise
Dad.
above this.
See, fathers set the
Yeah,
standard,
they
I think.
do.
Good.
They really do.
That's
You know,
awesome.
they give us the confidence and the reassurance that we need to, move forward. And you know what? Listen, all things happen to good people,
Yeah,
but you're going to make it better.
yeah,
Show me how better you can become.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that pile of dirt isn't going to bury you. You're planted in it to
That's right.
bloom.
And, I look back and I thank God I was able to be here and be with my loved ones that really care about you, that love you, and that will, you know, listen to you and
Yeah.
lead you into that direction. I
Just
mean,
be with
God
you through the
has a plan.
process.
You're right. God does have a plan.
Yeah.
And we know by our instincts what they are. And we do follow that. But it's always nice to sort of hear on the sidelines, you're doing well, you're doing good, you can
Oh, it's so
overcome, you
important
can.
to have cheerleaders and encouragement and just support. Thank God for family. And
Yes,
if you don't have a supportive family, we'll be your supportive family.
that's right. And and like, hey, you're a sister from a different mother.
Yeah, that's right, sister from a different mister. Thank
But
you.
yeah, yeah, we've become close, and we see each other practically almost on a
It was a
daily
kindred
basis.
spirit recognition, I call that. And
Right.
I know when you meet someone, some people you just, there's an unspoken understanding of, I get you. That my heart recognizes your heart. We probably have similar backstories. And you
Mm-hmm.
just kind of know that without
That's
even
right.
saying anything. I can sense it. You can sense when
Mm-hmm.
somebody has had to rise up and find inner strength and just
Exactly.
overcome
Yeah.
the winds and the waves of life.
So, through these hardships, listen, I love criticism because it only makes me a better person.
It
So
makes
I've,
me flip the bird. Just kidding.
right, but I've learned to, not take things personally. And I don't.
Well, you have to consider the source, right?
Well, sure,
Yeah, if
sure you do.
somebody's criticizing you, you can consider where they're coming from, and most likely it's going to say more about them than it does about you.
Exactly.
Right.
And two, when we're put in a bad situation, we have the ability to think very quickly on how to make that bad situation a good one and not make it worse.
Yep. I go into action
Because,
mode.
right,
Yeah.
in our hearts, there's love. And I'm not here, if you're angry, I'm not here to become angrier.
Right.
I'm here to try and make this better.
Yeah, what is the point of being angry? I get you. You want to
Yeah,
get to the other side of
that's
that so you
right.
can move on. Oh, I totally
And
understand.
I'm not with drama. I don't want to be around drama.
I've
I
had
don't
enough to
want it.
last forever. I'm
Yes.
sure you have too.
Oh, been through
I
it.
am allergic to high volume and yelling and conflict. I don't want to be around it. I totally agree with you. I
Right.
have worked long and hard to cultivate and find peace, and that's what I want. I want peace. I
You
just,
do. I mean, sanctuary is really where we're at right now,
yeah.
and we don't want drama. We don't want to hear excuses. We want honesty. We want people who are loving, and we know who will be there in a time of need.
I want people who are authentic in my life.
That's right.
Is basically what you're saying. I
Yes.
want people who are
Yes.
authentic, and I want to have authentic conversations and relationships and
Right.
experiences, and I'll take quality over quantity now. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And, we are now on the right path. And we really, I mean, we are doing so well. I mean, you are. I've seen you we're talking like 4 years ago.
can you believe that?
No, I know time goes
No!
by so fast,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So I've known Susan for like 4 years. And she's come, wow, you've
I
developed
loved you right
into
away.
a
I loved you right away.
loving woman. Loving, she's honest, and I mean, She is everything I would assume. Listen, if I told, didn't I tell you from the beginning, if I were a man, I'd be dating her. Like we'd
Ditto.
probably be married by
Back
now,
at you. Yep. And boy, we'd have such cute kids.
wouldn't we? I
Yes.
mean, well,
They'd
I don't
have
know about
great
kid
hair.
things.
They would have great hair.
But truly, that's what I had said to her because I knew of a kind heart when I first met you. It was
Do you feel like your harder moments in life just served to make you more compassionate to other people's pain? Because I do.
yeah.
I
Well,
feel like
I've always been very compassionate. I've
I
I've
wasn't.
felt people's pain and the sadness and it's just nice though to see how true you are. And really from 4 years ago till now, you have become better
You
and
think
more
so?
more loving and
What a nice
you've
thing to
developed.
say.
You've
Oh,
developed.
you know
You really
why?
have.
Because when you get out of an emotionally abusive
Abusive,
relationship where
sure.
you are continuously, and ladies, it's a very subtle downward slide into um, depression and self-doubt. I started out my marriage a confident, borderline, cocky young lady. And by the time he was done with me, I didn't know my from my elbow because I was so filled with self-doubt and
I bet.
insecurity after the criticism and the
The
dismissals
mind
and
games.
the devaluing. So I guess you're right. When I moved to Florida, I was pretty broken and just in pain, a walking open wound. I really was. And
Right.
I didn't know how I was going to feel better. I couldn't work because I didn't know when I was going to burst into tears. So it took a while to heal, I guess, to heal.
That's
But
right.
this one here, if you walk into her place of business, she is always positive and greeting you with a smile and making you feel special. And it's almost like if you have ever had a grandparent who has unconditional love for you and is always like over the moon to see you. That's what going in and seeing Lisa is like. She makes a fuss, and I've seen her do it with everyone who comes in her store. And I've seen you handle ornery clients with such grace and she doesn't take it personal. And she just radiates Disney princess positivity.
Oh my
It's
God.
contagious. It really is contagious. I always feel better after I see you. So if you're having a bad day, go
Hear,
see
hear.
her.
Yes,
Go buy
thank
a
you.
pack of gum and just expose yourself to the ray of sunshine that is Lisa. Get a Lisa tan.
Well, you
Uh,
know what? I think we learn over the years, right, to just let the water just roll off our back and just move
yeah,
forward.
for
That's
sure.
what I
Yes,
have
you
learned.
you
Yeah,
find
it's
your
important.
footing and you find who you are and you stop apologizing or compromising. You say, "This is what I'm comfortable in. This is how I am. This is me. Take it or leave it."
Very
And
good.
that's it. And the people who love you are gonna love you. And if you don't, thank you. Next.
That's
So
right.
I take a lot of solace in the fact, and you should too, if you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're single with no romantic prospects, guess what? Jane Austen, Lucy Maud Montgomery, Louisa May Alcott, all the greats, they
That's
died
right.
single and
Thank
they
God.
were geniuses. So that's not everyone's calling. And you can still be a productive, whole member of society. I don't know if you want to be a member of society, but you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Fulfilled, happy, on your own with great friends like this one.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
Maybe
you
we should
can.
start some sort of book club. It seems to be where I'm going with this. But
But
anyways,
yes, you know what? You've got to come on again. Listen, we are not done with this, but we're already in 30, going on 35
is
minutes.
that long?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I
This is so fun for
know,
me.
isn't it?
It's old hat to you. You get to do it all the time. I'm definitely coming back.
You have to come back. You
Okay.
do. Susan, this has been such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
You've boosted me, and I'm sure a lot of other women our age.
She's like a
And
young, sexy Sally
oh
Jesse
my God.
Raphael with those glasses. What happened to Sally? We
I
don't know.
don't know. Hey, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Maybe we might bring her
Sally,
back.
where are you?
But Susan, she's loving during, and we will do this again. We want to thank you for taking the time to join us here today. And Susan, thank you so much,
Yeah.
dear. Oh,
Please hit like and subscribe to this channel just for Lisa, my friend.
oh my goodness. Again, you will see my great friend Susan. Thank you. Bye bye now.
Bye.